RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right, hold on. Where's my buttons here? This is what happens. Hello, this is what happens when you haven't done a show during the week. How you doing? This is Tara Devlin, unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history. Decency, dignity, democracy. Oh no, shit. I fucked up. You know what? I gotta start the show again. Hold on. Oh no, whatever. We'll just do it. We'll do it live because I forgot to set up all the stuff on Restream. I knew I was forgetting something, but oh well. It has some old titles on it. Ooh, brother. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit discombobulated. Thank you, Jim. This looks good, sounds good. I got a new microphone. So, the other microphone, I had to research this one. That was a bit old, that microphone. It's a good professional mic, but I was getting a lot of P's, plosives, they call it. And I know it was probably annoying. This sounds a lot better as far as the P's are concerned, so that's good. I don't have to worry about that anymore. The plosives. You know what I mean? It was like everything was popping. All right, but this is okay. Yeah, well, I'm in a mood, guys, so I guess it's going to be a show. And I want to thank you for coming and hanging out. And I actually, we can open up the phones, too, if anyone feels like calling in. We'll, of course, wait to see who shows up, right? And on our Friday night get-together here at the Tarabuster YouTube channel at youtube.com/c4channel/Tarabuster. And let's see, what else? Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for making Tarabuster part of your APS Radio News roster and for all you do and have done for the show. And it's very much appreciated. Thank you, Charlie. You're one of the good ones out there. And thank you, patrons. If you can become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin, that would help keep the show going and growing. Well, I'm just trying to... This new microphone. It's hard for me to hear myself. I don't know. In my headphones. I need a real producer, right? To come in here and just do the thing. It's okay as long as you guys can hear, right? We'll muddle through. All right, yeah. Let's just get into it because I don't know if you guys were listening to Randy Rhoads. I called into Randy Rhoads' show today because I'm in a depression, really. And if you're coming from the future and you're looking back in time at our little program, we're talking about the debate last night where Trump and Biden met because Trump had been walking, this is Republicans, actually. They're the debate me bros. Debate me. They think that they have a lot of great ideas. They have no ideas. Their ideas are they're the same ideas we left in history's trash bin. But they think those are ideas. Their ideas are make the rich richer. Their ideas are divide and conquer. That's the idea. That's it. Divide and conquer, make the rich richer, make the working class the more malleable working poor, and make sure everyone is at each other's throats so they can do it, and wrap that around the veneer of legal legitimacy, however possible. And we'll get to the Supreme Court, because that's another problem. I mean, the whole thing is connected. And, of course, I was expecting a different show tonight, right? Because I was hoping that the debate, we would have State of the Union Joe Biden would show up. I thought, okay, this is going to be good. And Trump, who is a man-child, as well as a traitor and a tax cheat and a rapist and a convicted felon and a con man and a grifter and a serial bankrupt, disgusting waste of human DNA. And he would reveal himself for what he is. And he did. That's the thing that also sucks, because he was a disgusting display. It was a disgusting display of him. Well, I know what else. It's birds got to fly and fishes got to swim. So, right, it's unavoidable, and that should be the story right now. But if you Google the debate, all right, let's just do it right now. Debate. All you get: Biden's old, political H-bomb, Kamala Harris on standby, can Biden bounce back? For Trump, the debate was another chapter in the rewriting. Well, that's a different, they didn't mention Biden. The rewriting of January 6th. Politicians react. Another, let's see, H-bomb. Can they, it's just, can they bounce back? Shaky debate. Democrats panic. Dems freak out. Yeah, what the hell? And then he, of course, today, he did had a nice rally, Joe Biden, and he was normal. He was fine, but it started off bad last night when he came out. The minute he came out and he opened his mouth, and out came a croaking frog. He should have addressed it. And this is what I was talking with Randy Rhodes about this afternoon. If you don't address it, you're leaving this elephant in the room, and for people to fill in the blanks, right? To make their own conclusions. But that's not, it was the least, I mean, it's not the least of it, but there were other, the all-encompassing problems. But as far as his throat and not being able to talk, he was mumbling. He was getting lost. There were so many missed opportunities, and that's what the first thing out of the gate was, the missed opportunity. And I'm reluctant to play it because, I don't want to add to the fury of it, add to more. It's already out there, but. Let me see if I have it, actually. We're not going to play clips all night of it because I can't, I'll just break down in a fetal position. But right out of the gate, here, I'll just play it, whatever.
We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do.
He's talking about
child
taxes,
care,
right?
Elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID.
Wow, this is right in the beginning.
Dealing with everything we have to do with.
Wow.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare. Painful. I really felt like crying. And in fact, last night I felt my hands start to tremble and my stomach drop because, and I had it felt familiar, frankly. It felt like the way I felt on the day after Election Day in 2016. The sense of foreboding and dread. And I was like, what the hell? So, of course, Trump is a filthy, disgusting liar. And that, like I said, that should be the story today. But Biden looked old. He didn't dissuade. He didn't dispel the fake news out there, right? Because we were talking about on one of the last shows, or one of the more recent shows, I should say, how the New York Post, on the cover of the Post, fake news. They're deceptively editing clips of Biden, but this was him. So it's going to give credence to all of the fake news out there, because now the Republicans who have no They have no honor. They have no decency. I mean, it's coming right from the bowels of Murdoch's pustule, and it's coming from the official Republican accounts. How they're deceptively editing videos of Biden. Oh, Biden pooped his pants, right? At the Normandy commemoration. And Biden didn't know where he was. He wandered off. And that was all fake. But now he's this kind of gives credence to the fake news. It's I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. We'll be right back. Here's the music. Here's the music. This is Tara Devlin, unapologetic liberal talk. God help us. And here's the thing. Biden, I believe, will be remembered in history fondly. He's been a consequential president. He's been a great president, given what he's been dealt. What the hell with there's so many, it shouldn't even be close, okay? I was watching Chris Hayes right before the show came on, and he was pondering, why is it so close? Why is it that Biden is behind in all of the states that he has to win in order to win the Electoral College? Why is he behind? And he was saying, well, it must be because of his age. And it must be, and he said something else. I think it must be the lingering inflation, even though inflation has come down substantially and it continues to, and there are so many other good things in the Biden economy, including manufacturing and jobs. This is just not getting out there, though. But and I beg to differ with Chris Hayes, frankly. It's the corporate media. Son of a bitch. This happened last time, too. My streaming stop, it said. Let's see if we're back. What is going on with my streaming? Skype. Now Skype, sending me messages. All right, a bit of a jump, but then I'm still there. Okay, good. Jesus Christ, what the hell keeps going on with the? I gotta call fucking Spectrum. You know, it's not like I don't spend an arm and a leg on a friggin' Spectrum. Thank you, Matt. Well, first of all, thank you, Jim, for your super chat. What the hell? What's wrong with me? Right out of the gate, Jim, of course, and thank you for being a moderator in the chat room. Keeping the chat room safe, because we don't deal with these goddamn trolls. Yes, I know, Spectrum, right? It's not the best. I gotta do something else. I should get Fios or something, right? Isn't that better? I don't know. I gotta look into it. It's just another thing I have to do, and I can't even get the goddamn emojis for the channel. So, there's so much I have to do. It's just really annoying. All right. And thank you, Matt, for your super chat. If 45 becomes 47, I'll be going to our house abroad and watch the fascism from afar. Can I come? Us gays will be rounded up right after the trans community. For now, I'll fight. Right. I hear you. I'm very concerned. And the other thing, I know it's a little all over the place, but I'm sure you saw Jon Stewart. It really pissed me off. Old both sides Jon Stewart again. And they played his clips on Morning Joe, where he's talking about, both of these old men need to be in it's elder abuse. They should be in a retirement home and whatnot. Old both sides. Yeah, well, the thing is, Jon Stewart will be fine, He'll be just fine in a fascist dictatorship. He's rich, he's white, he's male. The rest of us, some of us, won't fare so well. And last night at the debate,
the fact that Biden stumbled so much, and here's the problem. It's not just the corporate media, I suppose, at this point, because last night was the opportunity to speak to so many people that he would not normally reach, right? And of course, Trump was a fire hose of lies, and CNN is absolutely useless, and they're part of the problem. How do you sit there, CNN, and allow the incredible lies? There's just a nonstop, one after the other, taking credit for things that he's continuously taking credit for Obama's Veterans Choice Act. So sickening. Oh, we had the greatest economy ever, and then COVID hit us, but we did a great job. Well, how come nobody mentions the million corpses? And then he's saying, oh, more people died under you. No, bullshit. Trump left us in a country of mass graves. That's all Biden had to say. No president that has mass graves in this country deserves to be anywhere near the Oval Office, much less a goddamn convicted felon. And so Biden had so many successes right out of the gate when he started with, we beat Medicare. We beat Medicare. I literally screamed, oh no, oh no. And the truth is, Biden has to tell the story. It's definitely a missed opportunity, and here we go again. What did the media do? To somewhat of I don't want to say their credit, but they did mention they did mention that Trump was a fire hose of lies, and then there's the fact check. In fact, let's play the fact check. He also fact checked Biden.
Candidate's performance and demeanor tonight notwithstanding, there is the crucial question of the truth of what was actually said on stage. And our fact checker, Daniel Dale, joins us now. So, Daniel, what stands out to you?
What stood out was the staggering number of false claims from former President Trump. On first count, Aaron, I counted at least 30 false claims. Now, President Biden also made false claims, at least 9 false or misleading statements on first count. I'll give you some of them. He said he's the only president.
The difference is Biden got the numbers wrong. He wasn't deliberately trying to mislead anybody, as you'll hear.
In a while, who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he'd supported, never endorsed him himself. In fairness, the president did appear to clarify that one. Now, the Trump list, it is way, way longer. So deep breath. He said some Democratic states allow people to execute babies after birth, an egregious lie that is illegal in every state. He said everybody, even Democrats, wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. Roe was supported by 2/3 of Americans, even more Democrats. He said every legal scholar wanted Roe overturned, abortion returned to the states. Legal scholars have told me directly this is not true. He said the U.S. currently has the biggest budget deficit ever.
That
happened under Trump in 2020. He said the U.S. currently has a record trade deficit with China. That also happened under Trump in 2018. He said Biden personally gets a lot of money from China. Zero evidence of this. He said there were no terror attacks during his presidency. In fact, there were multiple attacks. He said Iran didn't fund Hamas, Hezbollah, other terror groups under his presidency.
The guy better take a breath. Hold on, we'll be right back. All right, let's continue with the list of Trump's lies. during
He
the
said
debate.
Biden wants to quadruple people's taxes. That is pure fiction. He said the U.S. has provided way more aid to Ukraine than Europe had. It's actually the opposite. He said the U.S. has provided about $200 billion in Ukraine aid. It's closer to $110 billion. He said 18 or 19 million people have crossed the border under Biden. That is millions too high. He said many of these migrants are from prisons or mental institutions. His own campaign cannot corroborate this. He said Biden has only created jobs for illegal immigrants. Total nonsense. He said Nancy Pelosi turned down his offer of 10,000 National Guard troops on January 6th. There's no evidence she even got such an offer.
Incredible.
It was the president, not Pelosi, who had the power to deploy the D.C. Guard. He said Pelosi now acknowledges she turned down the troops. No, her office tells me this claim is still a lie. He said he deployed the National Guard to Minneapolis in 2020. Actually, that was the Democratic governor. He spoke of, quote, ridiculous fraud in the 2020 election. Zero evidence of any widespread fraud. He said NATO was going out of business before he took office. Completely, clearly absurd. He said the U.S. was paying 100% of NATO before he came along. The U.S. made up about 71% of NATO defense spending, not 100. He said he, not Biden, is the one who lowered insulin prices in Medicare. He did it for some seniors, but Biden did it for far more. He said Biden indicted him. Again, no evidence Biden has had a personal role in any of these 4 prosecutions. He said Europe takes no U.S. cars, just not true. He spoke of food prices quadrupling under Biden. That's a wild exaggeration, though they are up. He said Biden made up the idea he called dead service members suckers and losers. No, the Atlantic magazine reported that, and then former Trump chief of staff John Kelly corroborated it. He said Biden called black people, quote, super predators for 10 years. Biden never once deployed that phrase, let alone for 10 years, though he did at least once speak of, quote, predators without specifying it was about black people. He said his Trump tax cut was the largest in U.S. history. Not true, though, in fairness, Biden also said this. Trump said China and others stopped buying from Iran under him. China never stopped. He revived his pet lie. I don't know how many times they've done it, that he signed the Veterans Choice Program into law. Barack Obama did that in 2014. Trump signed an expanded version in 2018. And finally, Trump said Biden got rid of that Veterans Program. Biden has not done that.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
All right. Well, Daniel Dale, thank you very much going through every single one of those clearly.
Incredible. Yeah, but that should have happened during the debate. That should have happened in real time. Because the people who need to hear it, they're not watching the CNN after show. They've been propagandized. They've been told by their dear leader for years that CNN is the Clinton News Network. It's fake news, right? Anything that has any, that ever says the truth about Trump is fake news. And we could look forward to a lot more of that kind of stuff when, if Trump, God help us, becomes the next president. Wait, I'm trying to find you guys. Where the hell are you? I lost you. And it's very concerning because really, Biden's old. But the thing is, you're not voting just for one guy. You're voting for an administration. You're voting for policies, for people, for experts, for people who believe in democracy. You're voting for the judges. Because the president, ideally, is not a king. I know that Trump wants to be a dictator because he's not man enough to function in a free democratic society. That's just way over his head. Wait a minute. I hope I'm still streaming here. And yeah, I hope. Yeah, am I? We're having a lot of technical difficulties on Tarabuster. I don't know about the phones tonight, guys, because I think they got disconnected when I was. When suddenly it got disconnected. I'm trying to find my stream here. Yeah, I'm a little depressed too. It's very depressing. Okay, I'm back. I see you. I see you guys. So, yeah, what do we do? What do we do? So, last night after this debacle, I'm sure you saw, the Biden surrogates came out to try to spin it. You can't spin it in any way other than it was a disaster. Because the thing is, okay, and they kept saying that people in the Biden campaign, that they asked for this debate. And that's because
Trump was going around saying, debate me, debate me. This is what Republicans do. They think, somehow that makes them, it's a substitute for, to make them seem like they have, they're intellectual. What am I trying to say? That their ideology has some kind of intellectual backing, when it's nothing but an ideology of, it's really just a cult ideology, because they only have a couple of ideas, and it's always make the rich richer, no matter what. Increase cut taxes on the rich and destroy regulations. That's the Republican agenda. And of course, a heavy dose of racism for the dupes to chew on, because they're not getting anything else. It's all about funneling money into the hands of people who will never spend it in a million lifetimes. When Biden said they asked about Social Security, Biden said, lift the cap on Social Security. That's it. But it was hard to even understand what he was saying, because he was mumbling, and I know he has a stutter and whatnot, but he was way off, and it was embarrassing. But he also looked he just looked older than Trump. He's only 3 years older. He looked so much older. He moves very slowly. Even when he was coughing, his hand comes up very slowly. And he had this, open mouth gape. That doesn't play well. Somebody should tell him about that. So, yeah. And also the way that they had them set up with him on the right, when it was like he was looking down, and it just didn't look right. It looked weird. Of course, but Trump didn't look good either. He looked like an orange Jabba the Hutt. He looked like Jabba the Hutt stood up for once. Just an angry idiot, spewing lies, telling us how America sucks. What an embarrassment. I mean, what a debate. What kind of debate? The other thing that really annoyed me was that that Biden, participated in this conversation, whatever that was, their back and forth about the golf, whatever you call it. I don't play golf. What do you call it? Your golf score, or whatever the word is. Handicap. I have a 6. You don't have a 6. You can't hit the ball. What the fuck is this? You can't hit the ball. Well, who cares if anybody can hit a goddamn ball? It's not about hitting a fucking ball. This isn't Game of Thrones. You're not goddamn, the Baratheons or something. You're the president. We had a president in a wheelchair, but of course, we never saw him really in the wheelchair, did we? They went to great lengths not to show him in the wheelchair. But as I was talking to Randy this afternoon, Randy Rhodes, and there were a lot of missed opportunities, but Biden was off his game. And when he came out and started coughing, and he sounded bad, his voice was incredibly raspy, and thankfully it got better over the night. He seemed to get somewhat of a stride as the night went on. But what he needed to do was address the elephant in the room. He needed to say, I have a cold, excuse me, I have this raspy voice, my voice is, I'm losing my voice, but I don't feel well, I have a cold, but this is not the time to stay home. We are, this guy over here is a danger to democracy, and he should have he should have said the stakes are simply too high for me to sit home, and I've lost my voice sounding the alarm about the MAGA Republican threat to our country. That's what he should have said. And I made a reference to yeah, well, like, for example, when George Washington tamped down the Newburgh conspiracy, when the officers, after the revolution, the officers and the soldiers hadn't been paid, for years. And they were going to march on the Capitol, and they were going to march on Congress. Well, I guess it wasn't the Capitol at the time. They were going to march on Congress they were going to take over Congress and demand to be paid. And Biden and Washington found out about this and joined their meeting, where he read a statement from one of the congressmen, and he had never shown himself with his spectacles. Hold on, we'll be right back. I'll finish the story. So when George Washington, he basically, because he didn't want to seem weak, none of his officers had never seen him wearing his spectacles. And when he pulled out his spectacles, they were kind of taken aback to pull them out to read this statement. And he said, "I apologize, gentlemen, because it seems I have not only gone gray, but lost my eyesight in service to my country." That's what Biden should have done. And you have to, because they're doing it anyway. He needs to take these weaknesses and make them strengths. And when you don't address it, you're allowing the Republicans to do it for you. And this is the part of the problem with what we're dealing with in general with Democrats. We allow the Republicans to dictate the terms, right? We're always on the back foot. We're always playing defense with these bastards because they have no honor. They have no scruples. They are willing to do anything to obtain power illegitimately. They don't want to win fairly on the field of ideas. This is a blood sport to them. They want to rule the citizenry. They don't give a shit if the country is torn apart. That's why they are flooding the civilian population with assault weapons. That's why they're lying to them. You know how they poison the minds of the American people? Trump talks about poisoning the blood, that immigrants are poisoning the blood. This dirtbag, he's poisoning the blood. He's poisoning the blood, the minds, the souls of our country. He wants the American people at each other's throats because that makes it easier to steal. That makes it easier to destroy. A happy populace, an economically vibrant, upperly mobile, working class populace that is content, doesn't think a goddamn caravan is coming to kill them and everything sucks all the time and their votes have been stolen from them, which is bullshit. The people go about their business. People just want to live their lives. But these Republicans are committing political malpractice, turning American dumbasses into their shock troops. And they're not that smart. They're really not. In fact, do I have this? Hold on. The good liars go out and they deal with these people. They encounter them. Here, let's just watch some of the good liars speaking to some of Trump rally dupes.
So it's got Donald Trump's mugshot and never surrender, right?
Yes.
But that is when he surrendered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cognitive dissonance. We're dealing with a bunch of people that have merchandise that says never surrender. Merchandise of their dear leader, the felon, the convicted felon, the tax cheat, the rapist, the goddamn threat to national security, the Putin puppet con man who wants to be a dictator. That guy who had to surrender. They have a picture of him, his mugshot, him literally surrendering, that says never surrender.
if that's not cognitive dissonance meets the Dunning-Kruger effect, I don't know what is.
The perfect shirt for you, and I got it for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, it's this shirt here, and it just says, surrender.
Surrender, Dorothy. I'm voting for the convicted felon. Is just reading it for the people on the audio. What the fuck? What is that? Oh, it's something that you attach to your pants that makes it look like Trump is giving you a piggyback ride. He should turn it around. He should turn around, right? Have the doll facing the other way.
Who would you like to be Trump's VP pick?
I think his absolute best pick would be Marco Rubio.
Who is the Trump VP pick that you'd like to pick?
Unbelievable.
Candace Owens.
Oh, might be okay with
Candace
any of them.
Owens. What
Any
a
of them?
clown
Yep.
show.
Have you seen the list? Because there are some out there names
Yes.
on there. Yeah. Doug Burgum,
Yes, Burgum would be wonderful.
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Why? It's not. It's a.
General Michael Flynn,
It's a reality show.
Mike Lindell,
Yeah, probably.
Kanye West.
If he's conservative, I'm not sure what his values are. I know he's run for president before.
Hulk Hogan.
What's conservative
I don't know.
at this point? They're not conserving anything. They're not conservatives. They're radicals. And I know that's why you heard last night at the debate Trump calling Democrats radicals. Because, you know, everything's a projection or a confession. He's got to project it out because they got nothing else. Talking about committing infanticide, basically. That I'm so sick of this too. I actually called up my senators and my representative, who is no longer AOC, by the way. They redistrict me after the apparently this ruling came out. Remember, the Supreme Court, the New York Supreme Court, said that the Democratic maps could stand or something. They rolled back the Republican maps in New York, and so yeah, AOC is not my rep anymore. But it doesn't matter. So I called up my senator, my two senators, and my representative, and discussed as well. I have to tell you, by the way, though, just an aside, you know, AOC was a very good representative. In fact, she was in the district, readily available. When you called her office, people not only answered the phone, they actually called you back if you didn't get them. I mean, she really had a great constituent service operation. And unlike the Republicans, by the way, who I don't have a Republican representative, but we've read about them, like that one. Who's that one who's not in Congress anymore? The one who was in the wheelchair? That grifter, the one who was humping his cousin in a hotel room. What's that? Oh God, what's that guy's name? I can't wait till we get to the day where we're saying that about Perjury Trader Green or Lauren Band from the Bowling Alley Bobert, right? Where we're like, what's that guy's name? Remember him? Remember her? The one with the hand job in the theater? What's her name? Yeah, but he said, in fact, about him. He said he spent all of his donation money, all his campaign, the bribes that he received, were going to comms, not constituent services, because that's all Republicans have. They understand that they got nothing except the power of propaganda. And that's what they spent their time and energy on, making bullshit for their podcasts, going on Fox News, screaming and yelling about shit that's not happening, about fake news, fake shit that they make up. All of the time that they have wasted in America's lives, the lives of Americans, really, they're committing political malpractice by toying with the serenity of the people they pretend to represent. They don't do a goddamn thing for the people that they pretend to represent. How do you? All they're doing is twisting people
lying to them, telling them their country sucks. It's overrun. They're going to get murdered by a migrant. We call it migrant crime, migrant Biden crime. Labeling this bullshit, which will turn into another brand of bullshit at another time. It's always some bullshit. A caravans come, but it's always they have many, pretty much the same things in common. If you try to promote the general welfare, they'll tell you you're under attack from socialists or they're going to die in a death panel. Right? That we had to deal with that shit for years when we were trying to get health care as a right of citizenship. And even in the debate, they mentioned pre-existing conditions, and Biden mentioned that they're trying to roll back your pre-existing conditions protections, and Trump's like, that's not true. That's not true. Of course it's true. But there they go. That's the pattern in the Republican life cycle. Democrats, in spite of let's just say progressives, liberals, because a con by any other name still sucks. So today they're called Republicans. Right? Back in the day, the conservatives were the Democrats. I know. It's very, I know it's very hard for the Republicans to keep up. But, that's the life cycle of the Republican. The Democrats advance or promote the general welfare, and then the Republicans fight it until one day they pretend to defend it. Right? They pretend to be the champions of Social Security when they do everything in their power to destroy it. Right now, and in the fact check, the guy mentioned that Biden said that Trump wants to end Social Security. Well, maybe Biden wasn't clear, and he rated that untrue. They want to raise the retirement age. They want to cut benefits. They want to do everything to fuck the American people, but not actually address the one thing that needs to be done, and that's exactly what Biden said, to raise the cap on the taxes, and problem solved. Social Security is solvent as far as the eye can see, and I'm sick of the goddamn corporate media sitting on their ass as if they don't know this. Like last night, Jake Tapper, what is your plan? In 10 years, Social Security is going to be, again, with this bullshit. Raise the cap. No problem. Have the rich pay the same amount as everybody fucking else. And we can not only have Social Security solvent forever and ever, amen, we can even expand benefits, which is what should happen, because we don't live in a shithole like Trump likes to say. We live in the richest country on earth, in spite of the Republicans. And I'm sick of the fact that the American people, because of this goddamn corporate media, they don't know who's on their side and who isn't. Because the economy sucks under Republican presidents and Republican administrations. That's the life cycle. Just like when it comes to the life cycle of policy. First, Democrats propose policy. Democrats see a need. Democrats see that there's a constituency suffering, that there's a problem that needs to be addressed, that the general welfare needs to be promoted somehow. And Republicans scream and yell and stand in the way until eventually the Democrats are successful in some form. And then, come time, the Republicans position themselves as the champions of the policy they opposed all along. Prove me wrong. I'm telling you. Give me an example of otherwise. have the Republican, like, give me one thing. I mean, I know that Tom Hartman talks about it all the time. Name one thing that the Republicans have done to help the American people. Name one thing, one policy that they have championed. Social Security. No. Medicare, Medicaid. Right? Mark C. on the chat. Work until you die. That's the Republican way. Except if you're a billionaire, because they talk about how the poor, the politically unconnected, they're the ones that are they're takers. They're lounging around in the social safety net hammock. But they don't talk about the real takers, the billionaires who are sucking rides off our backs for free. That's why they need us to be at each other's throats. That's why they talk about, drag queens and gender and everybody and baby, bullshit. Infanticide. Democrats are all for infanticide, which is such absolute bullshit. That's an easy one, for the CNN moderators. That was a layup for them to say, excuse me. Well, how do you let that stand in the room? Where you have this goddamn con man saying that Democrats want to kill babies, and they just go on as if this is normal. Because, and as I was sitting there, I was like, all right, hello, Jake Tapper, anybody home? And then they go on to the next thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Because that there are some people stupid enough to believe it. And they're called Trumpanzees. And that's why you have to fact check it in the moment. You can't do it after the fact because they're not watching. They're on Charlie Rhodes. They're on, who's that fucking asshole? The one who says, the homophobe, the misogynist. What's his name again? Charlie Kirk, yeah. They're on Charlie Kirk. He's the one, what did he just say? That women who take birth control are bitches or something? And, I mean, they're just horrible people. And they hate America. And if you can't see what's going on, I'm here to tell you, they are dragging us back to the times we thought we left in history's trash bin. That's their plan. And we'll get to the Supreme Court, which are out of fucking control. And that's what when I called up my senator and I called up my, my congressperson, I was like, first of all, when it came on my phone, it said the Supreme Court rolls back a 40-year precedent undoing the Chevron doctrine. I could feel my hands start to shake with fury, really. And I just can't believe it. What we're dealing with. These Republicans are radicals. And if you don't know what the Chevron doctrine is, we'll get into it more, I guess, as the show goes on. But they're stripping they're basically stripping the American people of the power to govern themselves, to govern ourselves, to vote for our representatives, to send people to Congress to address the needs of our communities. And this radical, illegitimate, corrupt Supreme Court has, with undoing the Chevron doctrine, which basically says that in the case of writing legislation, that you would defer to the experts in these agencies like the EPA and the FDA, that you don't defer to Uncle Clarence fucking Thomas. And that's what they've done. It's an outright power grab. They are shameless and out of control and out of step with the American people. Frankly, I'm sick of it. And you know, and the more I think about the debate last night, this is the problem. Biden, you know, you have to be unapologetic. You have to be the messenger of this, to tell the people what the fuck is going on. And we have somebody that last night that couldn't finish a sentence, that was getting mixed up with different, you know, started talking about some immigration problem. And that just was out of control. Let's listen to these assholes.
I'd go with it.
If Donald Trump picked Hulk Hogan, you'd support him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trump has good judgment, and he will pick the right person.
If he picked Kanye West, you'd be fine with it?
Yep.
He's got
Trump's
good
gonna
judgment.
pick a VP. Who would you like his VP to be?
JFK.
JFK? JFK Jr.?
Well, they're saying he possibly.
Look at these fucking idiots with their flags, right? What do I say all the time? They wrap themselves in the veneer of flags and eagles and stars, because the actual patriotism is so beyond their capacity. It's so out of their reach that it's confusing to them. They think that actual patriotism is woke. It's too woke. They think freedom is too woke. You know, you can only be free in the constraints that they prescribe for you, in the boundaries that they lay out. Then you're free, see? You know, you're free to be exactly like them. Illiterate, ill-read, dumb, angry, stupid, hateful, unpatriotic. That's what they are. You know, I don't care how many stars you have in your shirt. You're like, that's what they remind me of. They remind me of closet cases, you know, who are hyper masculine. They're like, ooh, you know, I can't wait to give it to that girl, right? And then you find out that they're you know, down at the local you know, bathhouse. It happens all the time. Because they hate themselves, and not everybody, of course. That's why but that's why they scream and yell, and they go after gays who are not sick. You know, they're not self-loathing. They have the courage to live an authentic life. They hate that. It's too tempting for them. So they want everybody to be as sick and self-loathing as they are. But the same thing with this patriotic. What are you patriotic about? They hate America. They think it sucks. Right? I mean, they're wearing their hats, their stars, their eagles, their friggin' red, white, and blue. Well, somebody should ask them, what is patriotism to you? Well, it's freedom. Freedom to do what? Freedom to live your authentic life? Freedom to form a legal marriage contract with somebody of the same peepee or not? You know, what business is it of yours? They have no answer, of course. When I was down at the courthouse when Trump was first arrested in New York for being, for falsifying documents to cover up a payment to a porn star he had sex with while his third trophy wife was home recovering from childbirth, and then, of course, elevating that to a felony by an illegal in-kind contribution to his campaign. That's really why I had it all written down, but that's really why, he was found guilty by our fellow citizens in our jury system that the founders and so many others fought, bled, and died to create, to entrust to us. You know, everybody, all those men who died on the beaches of Normandy, they didn't die so Donald Trump could be a dictator for a day. They didn't die so, they died for freedom. What is freedom, though, to these idiots? Because they hate freedom. These are the ones that are like, you can't say climate change. while your communities are feeling the effects of climate change. But this is what they are. You understand? I'm so sick of them. That's why when I called my senators, and what would I say to them? I was like, I'm just sick of them. The Supreme Court is out of control. It's an absolute disgrace that, for example, last night at the debate, they're talking about that Democrats want to kill babies. But what they're really saying is they hate women. You understand? So when they say that, oh, well, because that's what Trump, the asshole, the con man, was saying, that a woman can go in the 9th month and then they put the baby on the table and say, we'll see what we can do with it. What they're saying is that women are evil. And they're justifying, and that's what they think, though. You understand? That's why they need to control women. This is the same old shit we've dealt with, that women have dealt with for the entire length of Western civilization. These religious fanatics who hate themselves, who are fucked up because they're fucked up sexually. These are the ones that are beating themselves with, what do they call them? Well, wearing the fucking hair shirts. These are the people that are dictating to us. It's like that Nazi he's a proud incel. They all hate women. They all hate women, and that's what it's about. Controlling women because you can't trust women. That's what they're saying. A woman might walk into a doctor's office one day and say, I carried this pregnancy for 8.5 months. Kill it. And, oh, okay. And then everybody's going to be like, all right, well, let's get to work here, killing the baby. And some of them believe it. Of course they believe it. But like Joseph Goebbels said, well, if you're going to make a lie, make it a big one. By its mere outrageousness, of course, the idiots will believe any lie that comes out of the asshole's lie hole. But others are like, oh, that's crazy. But and that's the other thing, that when, Joe Biden last night was like, nobody wants late-term abortion. Here's the thing. Keep your fucking mind, you keep your nose out of it. The reason there should be abortion with no restrictions is exactly because of what I'm saying. If a woman needs an abortion, a late-term abortion, it's because something is catastrophically wrong. There's a big problem. It's very rare. It's less than 1%. Because women don't carry pregnancies for 8.5 months and say, kill it. That's not who women are. But that's what Republicans want people to think. And I really wish the Democrats would push back like that, unapologetically. Say, you're just so insulting. You're so despicable. Trying to say, basically, that women are evil. And if somebody needs a late-term abortion, it's because there's something catastrophic happening. And it's none of your fucking business. Because all that the Republicans do is add chaos and trauma to this country. You realize that? Yeah, I'm sure you do. I know you do. But I'm talking to them, if they're lurking somewhere here. That's all they do. Like when Trump, the other thing, he's like, oh, the states. Bring it back to the states. Everybody wants it to the states. It's what we want, to the states. He loves that. He loves that whole canard because he doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to do his job. Because he's a lazy son of a bitch that he just wants the trappings of the presidency. He doesn't want the actual office of the presidency. He doesn't want to go to work. He wants everybody to lick his ass when he walks through the door. He wants them to go, sir, sir. And he wants them to play Hail to the Chief, this fucking draft dodger. He wants to salute. He wants to play like he's a big man. He wants to pretend he's just like Putin. He wants Putin to respect him. That's why he had to continue to lie about the election. He knew he lost. He's a loser. Of course he lost. He's used to losing. And he's used to lying. And he just couldn't look Putin in the eye. Or wherever he looks when he's servicing him. How could he ever join the community of the world's most disgusting dictators if he couldn't even steal the election like they did? You know, like he said about Kim Jong-un. He says jump and they all stand at attention. I want my people to do that. I want my people to stand at attention. Fuck you, right? You want us to stand at attention? We'll do something worthy. How about that? You know? See, they don't want to actually do anything decent and worthy that earns accolades. That's too much work. They want to rig the system. They want to rig the game. That's why they want to corrupt the courts, write the laws, the corruption, kick down on the politically unconnected, the poor. Fuck them. Make sure they can't do anything about this corruption as we put our boots on their neck. But don't worry, give them something to distract themselves, like trans people or gay people or caravans, immigrants. In a nation of immigrants, they hate immigrants. They're just, and even last night when Joe Biden was saying, about immigrants, or whatever. Hold on a second. It's insane. And he was saying something about, immigrants. Immigrants are what makes America great. That's what makes America great. This is what these Republicans will never understand. Because when they get a hold of America, they drag it down. They make it shit. Oh, the world is laughing at us? They're laughing at him. They're laughing at the baboon. The Trump, the baboon. The fucking con man. The liar. They're appalled at what's happening in this country because of him and the people who worship him, because he's just as racist as they are. That's all it is. He's as racist, he's as homophobic and hateful as they are, and that's all. That's all. They want to have permission to be ugly and racist and Nazi and. Well, let's listen to these women.
Still be alive when we frame he is. And
so you want John F. Kennedy Jr. to be Trump's VP candidate?
Of course not. Yeah, of course we do. Absolutely.
But
yeah, because I think
big
it'll
problem,
change the world, because if he's dead and all of a sudden he comes alive,
I guess
isn't
that would change the world.
To the world?
The shot heard around the world.
I mean, that would be a shot, but he is dead, though, right?
Nancy Pelosi actually had a whole busload of people in there.
Nancy
as Pratt.
Nancy who?
I'm not pronouncing her last name correct.
Oh, yeah, you hear, right? I don't pronounce, because that's what they do. I know I've been calling them Republicans, but that's only because they can't say the name of the Democratic Party, which drives me up a wall, too. It never stops. I'm not sure if you saw Perjury Trader Green. She was on an Australian television show. And she, embarrassed herself again, of course, because that's what she does. She's a freaking embarrassment. And these baboons are getting so much attention for being baboons. And one of the things that I said to the people I was talking to on the phone at my local representatives and senators, I was like, I'm sick of this tyranny of this minority. because we're under the tyranny of a minority who receive fewer votes. They represent a fewer amount of people. They have an unpopular ideology that fewer people want by a lot, as the asshole says, by a lot. But yet, like this fucking illegitimate Supreme Court, they're inflicting it on this country because, why? Because they hate this country. You know, these are people flying their flags upside down. They've been flying their flags upside down since the founders rebelled against the crown, though. This is the same faction. The loyalists. The people who lack the ability to function in a free democratic society. They want a big daddy to save them, to divvy up the hierarchy, make sure everybody stays in their place. They want the church to be intertwined with the state. They've been talking about it. But that's not America. I don't care how many stars you have on your shirt. And I am sick of it. You know, these assholes are always talking about secede. Let's secede. Well, fucking do it already. Do it. How many times, you know, Texas, secede. Well, go. What's stopping you? Frankly, I'm sick of my blue state dollars going to your poorly run Republican red state, and you lacking the manners, the maturity, the decency to simply say thank you. They're so confused, you know, they're so twisted, but they want to make us all as low and as debased as they are. And this is what's going on, you know, with this filthy Supreme Court, too. Taking our ability to govern ourselves, to put the welfare of the American people over the welfare of the billionaires who buy them RVs and their mother's home. These fucking traitors. I can't take it. How much longer? That's what I have to say. How much longer are we going to take it? Really, how much longer are we going to have to deal with these traitors? You know, with the pantomime of patriotism. I'm sick of it. That's the other thing I said to them. I'm sick of them carrying the mantle of patriotism when they are nothing of the sort. They're not even in the same ballpark. They're not even in the same state as patriotism. Right. Twisted Nerves painting. How about a nice trip to Somalia? It's just the country you say you want. Exactly. Somalia. You know, no taxes, no government. No government holding you down by your bootstraps. Right? I told you about this video I was watching of this woman. It's a very bizarre video. And it's some Trumpanzee. It's not a Trumpanzee video, but when you're listening to it, you're like, oh shit, she's a Trumpanzee. She's estranged from her daughter. It became some viral thing because she made this video. We should watch it, actually. It's so funny, really, because this woman, her daughter, who I gather, listening to her, I gather that the daughter is gay, and she eventually disengaged from her mother, and she wrote her mother and her father a long letter about why she can't have contact with them because for her mental health. And, you know, that's very sad, of course. And I'm sure, you know, the daughter, I'm sure it hurts her. But when you listen to the mother, it becomes clearer by the second why this woman had to disengage from her. Because this woman made a whole, like, hour-long video about why her daughter disengaged from her. And it's because of everything from woke wokeness to the third turning to like all these esoteric, disjointed, whatever. I mean, it was just so I never saw somebody work so hard to take absolutely no responsibility for themselves. When all she really had to do was say, "I'm sorry. Oh, I'm very sorry," right? That's all I'm sure her daughter wanted her to do, was just recognize her pain. And then she said something about, like, her alternative lifestyle and how she doesn't care about her alternative lifestyle and whatever that is, right? Alternative lifestyle. Actually, you know what? Do you want to? If you want me to play a little bit of that video, give us do something in the chat. Just say yes in the chat. And thank you, Mark C. Well, I like your super chat, but your message. I like your chat, of course, your super chat. But yes, that's a good message. Let's take a collective deep breath. We will win. Yeah, we will. I hope so. I don't know. I usually I was pretty confident before. If Biden had performed like the State of the Union, like that performance, then I would be very confident. I really was expecting to have a different kind of show tonight, to tell you the truth, that I thought we would talk about how Biden knocked it out of the park. Okay, so we got a yes. Let's, you know what? I think it'll be funny because you're gonna want to vomit when you say this. I have to find it though on YouTube because we'll have to play it off the screen. Narcissistic. It became. I mean, we're kind of late to the party, I guess, because I think this was like 6 months ago. And her name is Diane. Let's see. Narcissistic mother Diane. And she has a channel about, it's called something about estrangement or something. Let me see. Mother Diane Estranged. Let's see. There's this. Maybe we should play. I don't know. There's another channel. This is how I found it. I found it through this other channel called Live Abuse Free. And this woman, she's. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube while I'm working all day. But this is a woman who's an expert in narcissists, so I was interested in that. So I was watching it, and I like her accent. So let me find this. While I'm doing that, I'll continue playing this video. So
yeah, she actually did send some buses in with people in there for props that were doing the major part of the violence. Real Trump supporters were
Nancy
outside.
Pelosi sent buses of people in to do violence on January 6th?
Yeah, she
Where
did.
Did you hear that?
I've heard it in different reports on Facebook.
I just want to say, well, it's a 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now. Go vote for Trump, man. That's just the way it is, you know.
It's pretty good.
Thank you very much.
Is that something you did for a living at all? Or?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, really? You still do it?
I still do.
Who's president right now?
That's a good question.
Fake Biden? Fake President Biden?
Fake Biden.
You mean, what do you mean fake president?
I think he's fake. I think he's a puppet, and I think he's wearing a mask.
You think Biden's wearing a mask?
They're showing stuff that he's already passed in 2018, yeah. They're looking in Ancestry.com. Check out Ancestry.com, and it'll show you. Look up Joseph Robinette Biden
Oh my God.
Jr., and
What?
you will
see
see
these people.
that he's on there, his date of birth, where he was born.
So why-
and the date of
He's on
You think
Ancestry.
Joe Biden is not alive and it's somebody wearing a mask?
I hope.
Oh my
I hope.
God.
Why would they have him act the way he does?
Well, I don't know. Because
Biden acts like pretty old, right?
they're trying to wake people up, I think, to let them know that you're voting for a dementia
movie.
person.
Oh, okay.
And so that's kind of part of the whole.
So Biden is not really Biden, and they're trying to wake people up. There's actually been a theory that the person who is playing Biden is Donald Trump.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not.
Fuck. How did that happen? I'm back. How long was I muted? How long were we muted? Since the video ended. Okay. I must have hit a button. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. This sucks, because this is the Progressive Voices show that I have to edit and can't be. It was like a minute? Oh, shit. I'll have to fill that in, I guess, with more of the video. I guess that's how I can cover it up. About 2 minutes. Oh no, I was muted. Fuck. I'll just play the video, I guess. All right, let me see. That's why I like our weekday shows, because it's not as stressful. Okay. Disposable parents, the new normal.
Are dumping their parents, and it's ripping families apart. 26% are estranged from their dads. 6%.
All right, now listen, guys. I want to make sure you remember that the reason she's making this video is because her daughter doesn't want to talk to her anymore. So instead of saying, gee, what's up? I'm sorry, she makes this video.
Moms, with 1 in 10 Americans separated from a parent or child.
And it's all because it's not her, it's society.
If we don't reverse this trend, where do you think we'll be in 10 years? But it's not just everyday folks. Tom Cruise is estranged from his daughter Suri. Elon Musk, Cher, 50 Cent, Brad Pitt, Billy Ray Cyrus, and Rosie O'Donnell are all estranged from at least one of their kids. Is this the new normal? I spent hundreds of hours exploring this issue as I healed from my own estrangement. So today, we're going to look at some of the cultural factors, including the plight of the parent and solutions for going forward.
Her fake smile is really irritating.
Hashtags show up over 6 billion times on social media. The biggest subreddits for estranged adult children number 72,000, and there are dozens of Facebook groups for estranged parents, the largest.
All right, lady.
In the past, people seem to work out their differences without jettisoning their loved ones entirely. But now what do? As this commenter suggests, they turn to the therapy industrial complex. 2 out of 5
Did I not tell you that she's
therapy.
producing the shit out of these
53%
videos?
have at some point received professional mental health services, and more than 2/3 have been diagnosed with a mental health condition.
Could you imagine being this woman's daughter and you wrote her a letter that told her your feelings and how hurt you are, and she responded with this fucking video?
Believe more people should be in therapy. Apparently, therapy is the answer to everything. Discipline problem.
It's incredible.
Send them to therapy.
Yeah, bitch.
Problem at school. Therapize them on site.
Well, why don't you
These younger generations?
This is what I'm saying. Get help, Republicans. Would you just get help? Get help. I don't think this was the video though. This is a new one for me.
History. Yet they're also
in history.
the most therapized. Is this really working? Of course.
I hate
Specific
her
therapies
fake
for
face.
Certain situations can be life-changing, but ongoing talk therapy that goes nowhere
Goes
who
nowhere.
benefits.
Shut
One
the
in
fuck
four
up.
millennials
Maybe you would
plans to stay in
benefit
therapy
if you
forever.
tried.
Children are just one in three
Forever.
consider
Well,
their
so
therapist
what,
their
bitch?
friend. Aww. And who's
Oh,
turning out all
don't
these
you?
therapists
Oh,
for your
that's
kids?
very
Why, that would
punchable
be
legally
a
and peacefully.
university industrial
Oh,
complex.
it's
These are the
so.
colleges that
You want to
charge
talk about cringe?
$200,000 for 4 years of diversity, equity, and inclusion, where they confirm
Wow.
that your gender is anything you want it to be.
How
that
dare
others
you.
must celebrate your personal view of self, and if they don't, they're transphobes. XY chromosomes. That's old school. UCLA
Wow.
Medical School
I
has a
mean,
bit of a
you see
history
what I'm talking
admitting
about?
Underqualified racial minorities, according to
Underqualified racial
faculty members,
minorities,
they say the school
everybody.
has prioritized diversity over merit.
Me-
One
oh,
professor
God.
said that a student
It's-
in the operating
this is what we're
room
dealing
could
with.
not identify a major artery when asked, then berated
A
the
student. So let's have this anecdote that means that all racial minorities are underqualified? Because we have an anecdote.
professor for putting her on the spot. Is that who you want doing your open heart surgery?
How about you
Meritocracy
shut
is
the
out
fuck up
window
and
as
let
colleges ditch
people get an
standardized
education?
testing for screening students. Instead, they look to skin color as a primary indicator
Wow.
of
You
who's
see what I'm
in and
saying?
who's
This is what
out.
we're dealing
Can
with.
you read, write, do math? Who cares? What's your ancestry? Ooh, bonus points if they were oppressed, unless you're a Jew. Nobody cares about the Holocaust.
Oh my God. I've never seen this one. I want to puke. Do you see what I'm saying? Like this is a very fucked up woman. In my professional opinion as a therapist. I can't. But all of this to take absolutely no responsibility and to degrade and denigrate the very things that she needs. You know, you need therapy, honey. Look at yourself. You're a bigot. You're a racist. You're a homophobe. I don't care if you whisper it. Psh. That's why your daughter's not talking to you. I would not talk to you either if you were my mother. Your poor daughter, that she had to grow up in an environment like that with your hateful narcissism, you know, mocking her, devaluing her feelings. Oh, but that's in the other video that I did see. She said, "Well, just I don't care if you're in an alternative lifestyle." What's an alternative lifestyle? There's no alternative lifestyle. We're all human beings, asshole. What's alternative? You know, people want to... They're living their lives. They're forming relationships. We are interdependent beings. Alternative lifestyle. I just read some statistic. 85% of families are not... what's considered a traditional family. 85%. You know, man, woman with 2 children. All right. Guys, I can't believe that's the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. How does time fly? My Lord, we will win. We will. Keep coming back. It works if you work it, so work it, you're worth it, and live it. We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Check out APS Radio News. Go to become a patron. Please do. Please become a patron. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. That would help the show. It would help me too, you know, psychologically. I love you. I'll see you soon. All right, let's see how long we can take this video.
Are the universities churning out therapists to help your kids through life, to the point where the kids become dependent on these third parties who are telling your kids what? That your child is struggling with toxic masculinity and might be better off female? That your white
that's not how it works, dummy. You see, these people, they think they know everything without having any education at all. So you know, thank your lucky stars, Diane. You weren't born. You know, you were. If you're a cis female or whatever, thank your lucky stars. You know, you're fortunate. Some people aren't that fortunate. They have struggles, and because of people like you, they have high rates of suicide. They struggle. They want to kill themselves. They get when they come out, because they can't live, they realize it's either that or they will kill themselves. They encounter people like you who are clueless and think that they're just doing it on a whim. Who would do that? Nobody. Given the backlash. And I know, I mean, I'm gay, so I know what it's not like. I know, I can only imagine as far as being trans, it's just harder. I know that just by being gay, you know, not, you know, encountering always not, you know, the most positive people. And you're always going through a process of coming out. So you're always battling that sense of shame, you know? I wasn't born with that. No, nobody was. It was heaped on us by people like you, Diane, who want to inflict your version of what is normal, what's right, what if it's not normal, how come it's always existed from time immemorial? It's, you know, you inflict the ancient book of fables on us. You know, you read it in some book by a bunch of dudes trying to control people, especially women. And, you know, now if it doesn't fit to conform to your sense of what the world should be, it's alternative. There's nothing alternative about love or connection or humanity. But try to keep up, you know? Try to keep up, Diane. Yes, Pookie's Mama Irene says trans people are being attacked so much lately because of her, because of Diane, because of Republicans, because of Trump. It's disgusting. They've been given the key, you know, they've opened the Pandora's box. All the freaks, the bats have come out of the belfry. That's the better metaphor. It's really what they've done. They unlocked the belfry in here. And because, you know, they need the hate. They need a minority group to target. And just like in Nazi Germany, they go for the trans people first. But this bitch, you know, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, they people don't decide, I'm going to change my gender. I'm just going to change. Well, and even if they do, that's the other thing I think about too. Because I know nobody says, oh, gee, I think I'm going to be female. And first of all, we know gender anyway is a construct. It's a fucking social construct. But, okay. And even if it wasn't, and somebody said, gee, I want to be a girl today, what balls, what skin off your balls is that, Diane? Who cares? Let them be a fucking girl. But they don't, that's not what happens, of course. But what do you want to control? What everybody says and does and thinks and bees. Why don't you just live your life, Diane? But she can't. She's got to live her life, and then by repelling those who want to love her as a biological imperative. They can't even stand being around her. It's incredible. And blaming everybody else. That's the Republican way. No, it's not you, Diane. It's the LGBTQs. It's universities. It's trans. It's everybody else. Society. If society didn't suck, that's the Republican mantra, as we heard last night with Trump. Everything sucks in America, don't you know? And that's what I'm so sick of these right wingers. knocking this country. And I'll knock the fucking country, but not in a way that I hate the country. I don't even hate them, frankly. I want them to get a grip. I want them to get help. We're not knocking the country. We're trying to make it a more perfect union in spite of the Republicans standing in the way who don't want any unity. That's why they don't want diversity and inclusion education, because the last thing they need for this power grab is understanding, is truth and reconciliation, is people getting together, as a society and looking at each other and saying, if you have a different American experience than I do. African Americans have had a different American experience. All different minority groups have different experiences, and we have to reconcile our history, and we have to come together as one American people. But you don't do it by sweeping things under the rug. You do it by understanding, by actively including people. I mean, that's what these Republicans, they live in this fucking magical fantasy land. And that's why they want the hierarchy where everybody is in their place and nobody can challenge them. They can't make them feel uncomfortable. These snowflakes who say that everybody else is a snowflake, but they can't even look at themselves for a minute. They can't stand being in the same room as somebody who's trans or gay. That's so triggering to them. I'm sure you saw that video, or that that viral video of that woman, that disgusting woman, that Karen, and I feel bad actually saying that, because I have friends who are named Karen, and I think that's a bad rap there. And my friends who are Karen are very nice people. So, and I would hate that, frankly, if my name was suddenly turned into a meme. That would suck. Let me see. The woman from Mobs for Liberty? Mobs for Oppression? Screaming at the trans people. I don't even know if they were they were drag queens, really. That's different, but they don't understand that, that's a little different. Not necessarily trans people, they are performers. Where trans people are not performing, they're being themselves. Ugh, what a horrible person. Where is that video, actually? The Mobs for Liberty. In the meantime, that's the other one with there's Diane. Disposable parents. Why are we so disposable? Well, why don't you stop being a piece of trash, Diane? Uh-oh. Well, how come my screen just went black? If you stop being trash, Diane, you won't be so disposable.
And therefore, you must kowtow to all of the races.
What's going
that your
on?
parents are clearly toxic.
Everything is
causing you stress.
stuttering.
So you should just cut them off. But it's not just therapists who are suggesting that you estrange yourself from family.
Fuck.
It's also the social media.
I can't even stop it.
Or 33 million.
It's coming out. It's out of control. Oh no. Here, let's play this for a minute.
My dad died on Christmas Day.
This
but
sucks.
I didn't bother to tell
Look, she's
Haley
pretending to
because
cry. This is the other thing about
children
this.
Are dumping their parents and it's ripping
About
families
Diane's
apart.
videos. She does a lot of reenactments. She really puts her heart into it. If she only took as much time talking to her daughter, like asking her, responding to her daughter's letter, her daughter's heartfelt letter, as she did pretending to cry in her YouTube videos about how everything is so woke and everything sucks, that's why her daughter doesn't want to talk to her. Oh, this sucks. Why is everything...
Ted texted her after he recovered to thank her for calling, but she didn't respond.
Fuck. Everything's
My dad died
buffering.
on Christmas Day, but I didn't bother to tell Haley because she didn't really know him.
You didn't tell
He
your
was a
daughter?
sweet guy, but kind of an odd
Oh my God.
duck living in his own world. But he was my dad,
My
and it was really
dad.
hard to watch him die.
He was an odd duck living in his own world, but he was my dad. It was really hard to watch him die. She's really putting her heart, well, whatever it is, into
So,
editing
of course, I
these
had to
videos.
delete TikTok.
Oh, she's oh God. I'm sorry. I guess I can't play it because for whatever reason it's buffering. And my stupid videos.
I read all her birthday comments.
Come
and she
on,
seemed to have a
it's like the curse of Diane now. Maybe it's because I have too many windows open. I don't want to lose the stream. But let me close some of these. Maybe it'll fix it. And shit, look, now I have a beach ball. And the screen is blank. Oh boy, I wish this was a weekday show. This feels more like a weekday show. You know what I mean?
a lot of fans sending her presents.
Oh yes, so she's upset. Her daughter has a TikTok page.
Haley, who didn't seem
She's
to care.
pretending to cry.
I texted her happy birthday and told her that I loved her, which was my only attempt at contact that entire
Reenactments.
year. Silence. So of course I had to peek at TikTok.
Isn't
I
she
read
so,
all her birthday comments,
you know,
and she seemed to have a lot of fans sending her presents. We have been replaced by fans. I ordered Joshua Coleman's book, Rules of Estrangement. scanned
Rules
a
of
couple
Estranged? She
chapters
needs a
out of
book.
order, including the amends letter section, which I could not stomach because it required far too much contrition. Like,
You see?
it's all the parents' fault.
Yes, bitch. Look at your videos. All that her daughter has to do is point to the videos and be like, I rest my case. It's incredible. The Rules of Estrangement book it required too much, what did she say? Contrition. Yes, she does suck at acting too.
We had no
That's
contact.
right. Sociopaths have
I
to
threw
pretend to
myself
have
into a new
emotions.
YouTube
Exactly,
channel and
Pookie's
took a
mommy.
month-long camping trip around the U.S. After my
I
dad
love these
died and losing
reenactments.
Haley,
She
I
had to
just
get, look at that. She had to reenact taking a trip around the U.S. by, what, she got a folding chair and a cup of coffee and, and looked at the woods. Well, there she is. This is a reenactment. All this work, all this time and energy into making a video about why your daughter doesn't want to talk to you. This is Republicans. The whole thing. I'm sorry. I know this is a little off what we were going to talk about, but it's not really. It's really not. This is, of course she's a Republican. Of course. They work this hard to take zero responsibility for anything, for their actions. It's everybody else's fault. Society sucks. People suck. If you don't... I mean, what the fuck? This is the other thing. When she's mocking gay people, everybody's got alternative lifestyles. Why don't you leave people alone? What skin off your ass is it? If somebody is gay, Diane, what does it matter? Leave people alone and drink your coffee. Look at the fucking woods. Drink your coffee. I don't get it, guys. What is it to you, Diane? No wonder your daughter doesn't want to talk to you. And then she said that she didn't mind her daughter's choice. It's not a choice, Diane. Get a clue, right? But she didn't mind it. But she didn't. Why? What did she say? Why shove it in her face? She didn't like it being shoved in her face. And what does that mean? It means that her daughter probably had a girlfriend or a relationship or whatnot, and she wasn't ashamed of it. Republicans need you to be ashamed if you're gay. You need to hate yourself. You need to, just like throughout history. You know how many gay people who, have suffered because of, the loving Christians or whatever? Anyway, whatever. Let's listen to Diane.
U.S. After my dad dying and losing Haley, I just needed to get out and start living my own dreams now before it's too late.
What's
I
with
brought
that
the Coleman
boat?
book with me on this adventure, but I didn't read it. I was still low-level bitter and
Look at all
resentful
this.
over being ghosted.
You're not ghosted. That's not being ghosted.
my birthday.
You're not ghosted. Ghosted is them reaching out. You're not reaching out to them, to your daughter. You're not being ghosted. You're not giving her anything. You're not taking any responsibility. And maybe if you contacted your daughter with a shred of accountability, she would respond and be like, Mom, the reason, if she didn't love her parents, she would have not written a long letter. Who would do that? Obviously, this causes her a lot of pain. She wanted her mother to understand her, and she's probably been in that position her entire life, being met with the same painful response. I don't know what I would do. I mean, my mother was not Mother of the Year either. But come on. This is out of control. This woman's off the chain. Of course she's a Republican. She talks about it in another video. I'm not sure if it's this one, where she says that her daughter was mad that she voted for a different candidate. Well, we know who we're talking about here.
Which passed again in silence. I went for a hike. And
You went for a hike?
She's still not talking to me.
What's with the fake smile, Diane? And she wants to pretend like it's all good. I know. I've made a whole career now out of the fact that I take absolutely no responsibility that my daughter doesn't want to talk to me. My daughter is. It's not that my daughter's estranged from me. It's that I basically did everything in my power to push her away, to hurt her, to abuse her, to emotionally abuse her, and push her away. Continue to devalue her.
Love me. I can't make her want to talk to me. I can't make her call.
Well, what do you want her to talk to you about? You hate her. She's a gay. She's shoving it in your face. She's written you a long letter, and what do you do? You make a video about it? About it, but not about the letter. We don't even know about what she said, because she doesn't mention what the daughter said to her. And in another video, I wish it was this one. That was a pretty good one, because it sucked. I mean, sucked good, and by good I mean it sucked. And she does a this montage of words and sounds, like whatever, like what you would say to somebody that you're telling them your feelings, and as if her daughter is just, it doesn't matter what she's saying, it's just this jumble of disjointed whatever, and it doesn't matter.
Anything. So I'm just trying to cope. I never in a million years imagined that I would have a daughter who would just cut me out of her life.
What's that?
I could.
You did?
Love and resources.
You did the best you could. No, you're a Trumpanzee. You're somebody who takes no responsibility. And thank you, Pookie's mommy, for your super chat. America suffers from short-term memory. Yeah. Does it have any memory, though? I mean, do not worry. No one... That's true, actually, Pookie's. Now that you're saying that. Do not worry. No one will remember this debate, especially after July 11th. Sentencing for convicted criminal Trump. You're right. 100%. That's one of the things... one of the good things about last night's debate is that it occurred in June, not in October, right? That would be the October surprise right there. But yeah, you're right. We still have, how many months? I can't believe it. 6 months? 5 months? And Biden really has to get out there every day, and there's no wiggle room now. His performance last night cannot be repeated, or we're doomed. And when I saw, I'm sure you saw it too, Gavin Newsom, he will run for president one day. And I thought, wow, this guy, imagine him next to Trump last night. Right? I've seen him debate DeSantis, and he wiped the floor with him. And I do appreciate the way he is unapologetic, and he's good on his feet, and he's sharp. Let's hope maybe next after Biden, him. Okay.
Time and energy, and she rejected me.
Why? She didn't reject you. You rejected her.
It's hard not to hold a grudge.
You rejected her.
Admitting that I was angry and holding a grudge was really hard because that's not
Listen
who
to
I
the
am.
music.
I binged on her TikTok again and found some references to us, including a video dedicated to what she'd learned going no contact with her parents. I sat
That's
down
the
with
husband.
Ted and we watched together. You know,
They reenacted the watching together.
I guess irks me, that whole love with strings attached thing. I don't get that.
Why are you
I don't know where
smiling
that comes from.
with that fake smile?
Love is...
They love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be.
She was tactful.
What?
But the
Yeah.
comments supporting
Hello,
her decision to dump
pot,
us were
meat
really
kettle.
hard to take. We also learned that she's been diagnosed with ADHD
Oh,
and
wow,
high-functioning
that's it.
autism, which was news to us. You know, maybe that explains some of her behavior. We never knew.
Well, it's not your fault at all. Nothing is your fault. Nothing is ever the fault of the party of personal responsibility, of members of the party of personal responsibility. They never take responsibility somehow, because somehow it is never their fault.
Seen it. We would have taken her to doctors, but we didn't see it.
With that cheesy, fake-ass smile.
How we feel.
She doesn't care. Could you imagine these are your parents? And you wrote them a heartfelt letter and said, it's the most painful thing I've ever had to do, but I have to disconnect from you because I am traumatized. I'm in pain. This is what we've gathered, what she has let out. I don't know what the full extent of the letter, but she took the time to sit down and write it. And she completely dismissed it. And now, so it's not woke ideology or universities or therapy or transgenders. It's her ADHD now. Okay.
Issue. She doesn't care if we're alive or dead. I mean, she doesn't really know. I don't need any.
Could you imagine this is your mother and father?
I had a fundamental.
Making a video about you?
She doesn't care. She doesn't care still.
All right, what's the other videos? Let's see. Oh, here's the one, I think.
Children are dumping their parents, and it's ripping families apart.
She is really
26% are
got
estranged from
a
their dads, 6%
stock
from
video
their moms,
account.
With 1 in 10 Americans separated from a parent or child, that's 33 million people. If we don't reverse this trend, where do you think we'll be in 10 years? But it's not just everyday folks.
Why are you
Tom
smiling,
Cruise is
too?
estranged from his daughter Suri. Elon Musk, Cher, 50 Cent, Brad Pitt.
All right, let's
1
forward.
in 4 millennials plans to stay in therapy forever.
Oh, did we watch? Is this the video we just watched? They're all kind of
Expense
similar.
Mutual understanding and connection. In her book, Bad Therapy: Why the Kids Aren't
Oh,
Growing
yes.
Up,
Therapy
Output of
sucks.
Behaviors, attitudes, and emotions through social networks
Okay.
plays a huge role in all of this. Negative sentiments and punitive actions multiply rapidly, often without full consideration of context or
She's
consequences.
fucking nuts.
Which means people spread lies fast. This collective
What about you,
behavior
bitch? I mean,
reinforces the cycle
Diane?
of fear and isolation. As people become increasingly wary
It's
of
crazy.
expressing dissenting
Yes,
views
you're right.
or showing
Twisted
empathy
nerves
toward the
painting.
canceled
It's a sign of
individuals,
sociopathy,
which leads us to
smiling
stage
when
4
not
of this
appropriate.
communal cancer.
That's
Those
true
who
because
can
they
make
don't
you believe absurdities can
because they don't have they don't have actual emotions, so they can only mimic, and they often get it wrong. And so they're smiling at it in inappropriate times, like that Chris Watts guy when he gave his, the murderer who killed his whole family, the scum of the earth, and he gave the interview to the press on the porch, where everybody was like, "Oh, okay," because he was smiling. He's like, "I want them back. I want them back so bad."
how it feels viscerally to be raising another human being from baby to adult. It's like being in an alternate universe of unbounded love, laughter, joy, and connection, mixed with insanely difficult, head-spinning, mental and physical challenges.
Your
that
poor
bring you to your
daughter.
knees every single day. Every day. Parenting is not for everybody, and it's okay not to go there.
It's okay.
But if society
What's with that
continues in
vocal
this direction
fry,
of
too?
disposable relationships, encouraging kids to ditch their parents when they're no longer
Parents?
needed, then beyond further splitting America,
Oops, wrong.
who's going to sign up for having
Further
kids at all?
splitting America.
If society applauds your children for deserting you after a lifetime
No,
of
who's
support,
what?
well, that's just another huge hole in the Jenga tower leading to America's collapse.
So your daughter doesn't want to talk to you, and it's America's going to collapse now. It's the Jenga tower of America's collapse that Diane's daughter is not talking to her because Diane is a sociopath.
I'm not really a religious person, but I do think those 10 Commandments bring a lot of
Oh
common
no,
sense
of
to the table.
common
They're
sense.
kind of the foundation of
Thou shalt
civilization.
not commit
Number 5,
adultery. Thou shalt not have any false idols. Go away. Go away, right-wingers. Would they please rapture the hell out of here already? Come on, right? Come on already.
tells us to honor our father and mother. It doesn't say
Oh,
love
that's the only
them.
one she
It
likes.
just says honor.
Honor.
As in to recognize, treat with respect.
She tried.
Appreciate. Some may say
That doesn't mean be a doormat. Diane, obviously your daughter disconnected from you because she had no other choice. She probably tried every other way to reach you, and being connected to you was simply too painful. And if you read all the comments, people are like, I think somebody wrote 30,000 comments and you still don't get it. It's true. Just knock, knock, Diane.
I didn't ask to be born. I don't owe my parents anything. Perhaps, but life itself is a gift. You get to be here, create dreams, and pursue them. What do you say when someone gives you a gift? You say, thank you. because someone did something nice for you.
Wow.
No parent is perfect.
Wow, wow,
no
wow.
child is perfect. We are all flawed human beings. If we can't forgive ourselves and others for what
This
happens
is out of
in
control.
life, our anger will eat us alive.
The Hindenburg. All right, here's another. I know. I don't know. Tell me if this is getting too much.
I really thought I could get through this without crying.
Wait, hold on.
27%
Wrong
of
video.
American
You can't
adults
see it.
have cut contact with a family member.
I was trying to get to the
lasting an
part where
average
she's
of
talking about
4.5
being a
years.
Republican.
I'd be part of that statistic.
I never dreamed
Have you
I'd
seen
have
this?
dreams.
Dear parents,
No,
I need
wrong-
to
oh,
speak
here it
my
is.
truth.
Here it is. Oh, this is the one. Dear parents, where she basically mocks her daughter's video. Come on. Come on, Acam. This really is kind of like a weekday show. Because it's very loosey-goosey. Come on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get the screen. Here it is. Look what I'm talking about. It's so insulting to her daughter. Her daughter writes an article, a letter to her, and she chops it up and into some cacophony of words that don't mean anything.
All my life,
Gaslight, guilt trip, hurt my mental health.
Hurt my mental health. It's bad.
Life ruined, bad.
Because of you.
90% of the letter was about politics and how we couldn't be in her life if we supported that guy.
That guy.
This kind of angry outburst from her was so out of character. We were
Look at her
shocked.
looking in a little
We didn't know what
into
to do.
nothing. She wrote, you know what she wrote back? Received. Isn't that nice? You pour your heart out to your mother and father, and they write, received. What a cold bitch. And I agree with her daughter. You know, you support that guy. It's not about politics. It's about the future of this country. And it's a personal insult. Not an insult. It's a personal attack, excuse me. Insults I can handle. Attacks on our freedom, our everything, bodily autonomy, being gay, being trans. If you're, this is a party that is actively pursuing and targeting minority groups that this woman's daughter is a part of. And so it's not really about politics. It's not about, oh, yes, we all agree in an upwardly mobile, economically vibrant working class majority and just have different ways how to get there. It's, we low taxes, no regulations. It's not about that. It's about targeting minority groups, tearing people up and tearing this country apart. It's about it's about her daughter's life, her freedom, her ability to live a life and live her life in peace without being harassed, without being targeted.
I thought I was a good mom. Not perfect.
God in
but
heaven.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Honestly,
You're not good.
I was in denial at this point because I thought this was more a thing between her and my husband Ted.
Oh, jeez.
Because I'm not that political.
Ted's a
at all.
Trumpanzee.
So I thought we could still have a relationship.
Why are
So
you
one day I
smiling?
responded positively to
It's
one
really
of her
weird.
Facebook posts, like normal, thinking that the letter was just some one-off thing. that would
Oh,
blow
so
over.
your daughter
But she-
wrote you a letter and you said received. Received? Yeah, exactly. Pookie's mama Irene. She said she got an email from her coworker. Yes, received. I'm working on it. Received. And she went on her daughter's Facebook and just liked a post, but didn't respond to the letter. Just wrote received. Of course, that's painful and insulting.
She unfriended me.
She
And
unfriended
followed up
you.
with a
Yeah,
text
well,
that
you
said
deserve it.
something like, "You don't get to stay in my life. I'm keeping this number for family emergencies only. Don't contact me."
Ted's sister got involved.
Why
to see
are
if
you
she could help,
smiling?
but Haley
Oh, so she
immediately
sent some
unfriended
flying
her,
monkeys
which
out.
was surprising because the two of them were politically aligned.
Oh, so
Friends
it's
offered to
not
step in.
about
the politics then. It's about your being a horrible person.
Say something on our behalf.
And
but
because
after-
you're horrible, you're voting for horrible people who target your daughter, who's a member of a minority group that you hate. Well, you like, as long as they don't shove it in your face. Oh my God, is that the end of the show? Guys. This is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. Become a patron if you can, please. That'll help keep the show going and growing. We will win. Well, we'll watch some more of the video, I think. What do you think? Why not, right? If you want to hang out, why not? We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. My name is Tara Devlin, and I will speak to you soon. APS Radio News is cool, too.
For what happened to Ted's sister, we just said no.
We just
A couple
said
weeks
no.
later, she did not wish me happy birthday for the very first time.
Oh, well. Maybe you should stop
This
being
wound was
awful.
So fresh, I couldn't
There
even
she
say
is,
her
fake
name when I
crying
talked
again.
about it.
I've even had some people really close to me decide to move on from me.
So it's an epidemic, Diane. See? That's Trump for you, right? Really bringing America together.
That's the hardest of all.
No,
In November, I
enduring
texted her that we were
an
going
orange
to
con
Montana to see her
man
sister
trying
for
to be a
Thanksgiving, and that she was
dictator.
warmly invited,
That's pretty
but
hard.
If we didn't hear back, we'd assume she wasn't interested.
She set up the camera and then they walked. She really is
Invited, but if we didn't hear
irritating.
back, we'd assume she wasn't interested. Silence. In December, I texted Merry Christmas and told her that we loved her. Silence.
She puts a lot of work into these. What do you
So
do
that
for a
winter,
living,
I
Diane?
emailed her
Oh,
a
the
few
other thing that
times.
really annoys me, I hope I can get to that part, if that's on here. Because she goes on about the third turning and all this other shit. Like, it's really bizarre. And how government is controlling everyone. And this is why kids are disconnecting from their parents. And in her day, they used to put themselves up by their bootstraps. And the thing that's so funny is that I found it funny that she's talking about how horrible government is while on a internet machine that was developed by government research and development. So it's pretty ironic. But this is them, they're like the fish who don't realize they're swimming in a bowl of water. They think that the infrastructure of democracy just built up around them, and why can't everybody be free? Diane didn't make her own road or chop down her own trees and build her own house to a spec that where the house wouldn't fall down on her head. She didn't create her own internet machine. She didn't, she's not living out off the fat of the land. She's not like the Unabomber, who at least has the integrity to move his ass to the woods, right? See, this video went viral. It has like over 1 million views. It's incredible.
More silence.
Silence.
Around this
Because
time,
people
I
are as
started
stunned
watching
as we
videos on
are.
Estrangement to see if I could figure out what was going on. I did it intermittently.
She's the
because
best.
I think I was still in denial.
Who are
thinking
these
she would
people?
Just come back in time. And it seemed appropriate to reach out
Oh
occasionally
my
to let her
God.
know I
Those
loved
are her
because
enablers, I'm
that's
sure.
what moms are supposed to do, right?
I mean, I try to maintain contact.
What are you doing in that hammock?
She shut that down.
The longer this went on,
Because
the
you
more
said
real it began to
received
feel, and there was just this
to her
cauldron of
letter.
emotions, horrible emotions, shock and shame, anger, denial, sadness, depression.
She had to
betrayal.
reenact
It was so hard to process.
Fluffing the pillows.
I joined some parental estrangement groups on Facebook to see how other parents
Because
were
you're
coping,
starved for
and
attention.
While it was nice to know that I wasn't alone,
My fake.
I could
is
not
she
spend
as
too
fake
much
as
time
can
there
be?
because it was all the same misery that I felt. So horribly sad and depressing. There were just broken hearts everywhere. I could not face all that pain.
She likes her ass, I guess.
Sadly, at one point, I had to text her to let her know Grandpa died, Ted's dad. She'd had a good relationship with him.
She put the sound effect of the
That's very
movie player.
He died. There's a memorial. Here's the Zoom link. This
Oh,
was
that's
still during
very
COVID.
lovely, Mom.
She did attend, to her credit.
We were glad to see her there. Although
Look
we
at the
didn't see her
fake
there.
ass
She didn't have her
tears.
camera on, and she didn't say anything.
She really did believe that this was gonna touch millions, but not in the
I sent her a
way
text wishing
that
her
she's
happy birthday and
been
telling her I loved her.
touched. People have been appalled.
I was so sad on her birthday. This is a very
But isn't
special
that
day
like a
for
Trump
me,
antsy
too.
though, right? Like there's I'm telling you, 90% of the comments are, this is appalling. You're in denial, you're horrible, you're fake. Just say you're sorry. What all this work to take no responsibility, and she's still justifying herself. Nothing can reach them. Here's the Zoom link. Exactly. Here's the Zoom link to your grandfather's funeral. But you're supposed to, you're hurt that she didn't respond. She responds with received. She receives a heartfelt letter, received. And then her grandfather dies. Here's the Zoom link. And you think your daughter, who's been trying to reach you, and instead of expending any energy, like she has all this energy to make a video, to make numerous videos like this with reenactments, music, sound effects, editing, and she doesn't have the same energy to put into a response to her daughter. She just says received. Wow, it's stunning.
It's the day I first became a mother.
I guess that's my way of saying.
It's all about you,
I
Diane.
still love you. I still think about you, but I don't want to intrude in your space.
Yeah, you want to make videos about it. You want to form a. This is her narcissistic supply. She want like Trump. You know, he needs his narcissistic supply. She needs her narcissistic supply. She's the victim, like Trump's the perpetual victim, and she created a whole group. Now she has a Facebook page. She has a YouTube channel with videos, and she formed a community of other parents who've been estranged, who are estranged from their families. And this is her identity now. She's getting the narcissistic supply. She talks about her daughter's TikTok page being the substitute for her now. Just like Trump. Projection much, Diane?
Sounds stupid, but I buy myself a present for Haley's birthday.
Yeah, it does sound stupid.
Betrayal.
Summer 2021.
My husband may have texted her once or twice that summer, but
This is the best
I did not.
video I've ever seen.
On the 1-year anniversary of her angry letter,
Angry
emailed
letter
my
that she
sad
wrote
letter
received.
response. I started off with a story about the time I saved her from choking to death on a candy wrapper
Can you
when she was a
believe
baby.
that?
Which was probably the worst way to start.
Yeah, bitch. Remember when I saved you from choking when you were a baby? No, actually, I don't remember that, but that's, your job as a mother. Anybody would say, if you saw a baby choking, what would you do? You would try to save the baby from choking, but you wouldn't send it a bill 25 years later.
But I didn't know.
Yeah,
Then I went into
Diane,
the,
you're
"I don't
such a
know everything,
lovable
but I did the best
scamp.
I could reasoning. Then I went on to calmly address some of the points in her letter. I apologized
Calmly.
for not being the parent she needed, but I also expressed dismay at her level of intolerance.
which I probably shouldn't have done, but I wanted to be honest and
Honest
basically
and
just wished her
fake?
the best of everything in life. My birthday passed in silence once again.
Of course,
which
because
is
you're
sad, because
unbearable.
She was the one who always remembered everybody's birthdays in the family, even my dad's, who she hardly knew. Around this
Well,
time,
he probably
we
wasn't a
discovered her
Trumpanzee.
TikTok, which I have to confess was strange and difficult to digest because she does a lot of
Diane,
exotic
you're trying too
cosplay.
hard.
And I couldn't help myself.
Not in
I
all the
binge
wrong
watched a
places.
bunch of them, then
We don't want to
combed
see your
through
ass,
all
Diane.
The comments looking for any mention of us.
She had to
I was
make all
pretty
of
annoyed
these,
at being relegated to the status
you know,
of random
reenactments where
internet
she
viewer,
changed
but
positions
I was
on the
glad
couch.
that I could see her. In November, my husband and I caught the super nasty Delta version of COVID. It was truly
Oh,
awful for me, but
because
way worse for Ted.
because he's a
We're talking
Trumpanzee.
hospitals, paramedics.
Yeah.
It got so bad, I texted her. I told her that.
And she talks about in one of the videos about how she is, you know, one of the things that sucks about America and why her daughter doesn't talk to her is because people are not taking this unverified, untested vaccine, and why should they? Well,
she should call
you almost
Daddy-O
died.
because he had COVID and he wasn't doing well at all. He was really struggling and it was scary. She did call.
Scary.
It was a miracle.
But we're still Trumpanzees.
But apparently she was almost like an automaton, dead
Like Trump?
inside. I don't know, kind of
Like
like
Trump?
a robot.
Like
I mean,
Trump?
Ted really appreciated the call. Don't get me wrong. Really.
Oh, I
appreciated
hate
that
when she
call. It
moves
meant
in on
so
herself.
much to him. But it was also like she wasn't all there. It was very.
She must be nuts,
strange.
Diane. She's
I
nuts.
texted
That's
her
it.
after he
Must
recovered
be
to
that
thank her for calling,
DEI.
but she didn't respond.
It's probably diversity and
My dad died
inclusion.
on Christmas Day, but I didn't bother to
Oh, there
tell
she
Haley
is, faking
because she didn't really
crying
know him.
again.
He was a sweet guy, but kind of an odd duck living in
Ugh,
his own world.
We saw this already.
So I was grieving for Dad that winter, but also for Haley.
Shut
We
up.
Did
She's
not
so
stop.
irritating. Ugh.
We have been replaced.
We saw this. We saw this.
After my dad dying and losing Haley, I just needed to get out and start
And
living my own.
make reenactments.
On my birthday, which passed again in silence, I went for a hike. And
Went
2
for a
years
long
later,
walk off a short pier.
Anything. So I'm just trying to cope.
You look like you're making a
Great,
living
and
out
holding
of
a grudge was really hard because
trying to
who I
cope.
am. I binged on her TikTok again.
We saw
and
this already. How it looks like she recycles the same
minutes reading from some
videos,
inspirational
like
book.
pieces of other
At one
videos.
point, I was reading about living a compassionate life. And when I got to the chapter on forgiveness,
By a lot. I forgived her
Lately,
by a
I'm
lot.
thinking about forgiveness. Forgiving her, but
Oh,
forgiveness for myself.
of course, Diane. We wouldn't have it any other way.
But mostly myself.
Is this real life?
Because you can't help but blame yourself.
Yeah,
when
you
something
look
like
at
this
yourself.
happens with a child
Yeah,
that you raised and poured all your love and energy
but
in.
it's nuts.
Everything. You know, we just
I can't take it.
gave her the best of everything we could.
What?
letting go of our
You're
anger
fake.
is a
You're
way
so
of being
fake.
compassionate towards ourselves.
Of
Anger
course,
keeps
mostly
us stuck in
myself.
the past, obsessing over what has already happened. Forgiveness does not ignore the harm or justify a person's misdeeds, but it releases the pain and anger.
You feel pain?
connected to them.
No. No one who feels pain can do this. Seriously.
I debated texting happy birthday, but did not.
Oh, reenact.
Today is my daughter's birthday.
This is
She
the
is
greatest
29,
video.
and she has
She wants to see the manager. This is
spoken
good.
with us
Thank you, Jim.
for
That's
2.5
awesome.
years now.
2.5 years of my
And
YouTube
that has been
channel
very difficult
about being
to deal with.
estranged.
But I'm learning to accept it because that's all I can do.
Wow.
The last text
This is the
I
best
sent was
video I
happy
ever
birthday
saw.
last year. So she is lost to us.
Why are
now
you
at this
smiling?
point, and this was not
You're
something
like
we
Chris
ever,
Watts.
Ever
I want her back so bad.
envisioned for
I
our
want so
lives.
bad.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry. I thought I was gonna make it through this without crying, but
So bad. I want her back so bad. Diane, you're trying to just, oh my God.
it's like she's dead, but she's not, and I'm grateful that she's not. And I am grateful that she's on social media somewhere. If I feel the need to go see her, I can see her. So
why don't you
happy
write her
birthday,
back? Why did
Haley.
you write
I wish you all the
received?
best in what you're doing.
Oh shit.
I admire.
Whatever. This is not the one though, where she goes into everything's woke. But damn, Diane. What the hell? Speaking of Chris Watts.
I really thought I could get.
All right. Dear estranged moms, these people are. There's got to be more. Oh yeah, this is what happened. Oh here, she was mad that people.
I released
People were calling her a narcissist.
a heart on the sleeve style of video.
That's not a heart on the sleeve.
Explaining my experience.
Hearts on the
as an
sleeve don't
estranged
take that much
parent
editing
on this brand new
and
channel,
stock footage.
And it kind of blew up. I have been reading your 13,000 plus comments
Yes.
for days.
13,000
and
comments,
I
and you still don't have a
haven't
clue.
Made a dent in all that there is to see there. I do want to say thank you so much for taking the time to share your thoughts on this issue.
She
Whether
apparently
for
wrote a lot
me
of
or
cease and
against
desist
me or
letters
somewhere in
to
between.
people. For real. I
really
might
do
get one actually,
appreciate
now that we're showing
the
it.
time you took to respond, and I especially appreciate those people who showed kindness and compassion in formulating their responses.
And now I can
If I were a
I
better
can mimic it.
YouTuber, I'd be able to look straight into the camera and say all the words I'm about to say, but I'm not that good. I need my notes, so please forgive me if I look away at my notes on a pretty
Don't worry,
regular
Diane.
basis,
Look at my
because I'd rather
set.
just get this video
Everybody
out
gets it.
than have it be perfect. As I'm still reading these comments and running a poll to
A
see
poll. Oh shit.
where to take
Up
the
in the
channel
polls,
next,
down in
and
the
a link to
polls.
that poll is down below. I did want to address a few
What
things
poll?
that keep coming up before creating the next real video. Number one, my narcissism diagnosis.
There
I would
goes
like
that
to
vocal
thank all of
fry
the legions
again.
of armchair, I'm sure, fully qualified therapists who can watch a highly curated 16-minute video
This is the greatest video ever.
and come to that conclusion.
Yeah, you're a
As
narcissist. We could
reminder,
do it. We
the
can.
platform you are on is called YouTube,
10 Americans
which means you, as a creator, tell your
This is the
story,
best.
and you upload your story to the platform.
Okay,
and people
we know.
can share your story or not. But yes, the video was about
Why
me.
are you still
It was from my
smiling?
perspective as a parent going through this experience.
And we saw how
this is arguably
how out of
one of the
how
most, not
much
the
you
most,
worked
but
at
one
not
of the
taking any
most
responsibility.
traumatic, horrifying thing that
We're
a
trying to
parent
help.
can ever endure. It is a trauma. If you're a parent and you've gone through it, you know. If you're a parent who
Okay.
hasn't
Today,
gone through
while
it, you can probably
Oh, okay.
fairly accurately imagine what it
This
might
is just
be
us hanging
like.
out now. Show's over.
But if you're not a parent, you can
Watching
imagine
Diane.
maybe
You got it. I mean, this is fun.
intellectually what
I'm
this is
I'm
like,
enjoying this really.
But you don't understand. You truly cannot understand the visceral
I think I found the
bond
other video.
imprinted chemically on your entire being.
True,
with
non-useful.
concern
Thank
for
you.
your child
I'd vote for a
throughout
lawn
that
chair
child's
before I
life.
vote for
As
Trump.
a reminder,
Me
My
too.
daughter went no contact, and she talked about that on her TikTok account.
I'd vote for
a year and
Biden's
a half ago.
head in a jar, like in a cryogenic jar, before I'd vote for Trump. You know what I mean? I think I found the video that is really the most annoying one. Let me see, because I see there's clips of Black Lives Matter, and you know that's gonna be good. So we're gonna watch that one, and then we'll go get unconscious.
To 12 years old get an average of 4 hours and 44 minutes per day. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, Reddit, these are all great places to connect with people worldwide over whatever interests you.
Thank you for the
when people hide behind keyboards,
for the
it's
definition.
so much easier to get angry,
Angry.
overreact, and say things to a person that you would never say to them
Important.
in real life. People get upset, someone throws gas on the fire, everyone's outraged, soon the whole forest is burning, and the algorithms feed on it. Just like that one episode of Star Trek.
Appears to be strengthened by mental radiations of hostility. God.
Negative headlines
Wow.
get more clicks. Negative content gets more engagement.
It's so
Negativity
cringe.
keeps people on platforms for longer, which lets them serve more ads, which is how they make money. Doling out
This is all
dopamine like
to
slot
explain why her
machines.
daughter doesn't talk to her. Remember, okay?
Social media platforms hack the human psyche to keep your eyeballs angry and engaged for hours on end.
It exists on the hate of others.
Where everyone assumes, projects,
This
judges,
is
condemns,
madness.
often on the tiniest bit of information.
We're
where
living. Is this
outrage
real
the
life?
norm.
Are we living in madness?
An alien has total control over us.
So what happens when young people grow up, roaming freely in this seemingly friendly yet
Oh, a dog.
subversively hostile social media environment? Spending years in therapy while doing so?
Oh, she hates therapy. Is she a Scientologist?
Weaponization of therapy speak. Mental health
Therapy
awareness has
speak.
increased thanks to social media. This is both good
I hate
and
that
bad.
friggin'
On the one
zoom in
hand,
thing
this
she
enables
does.
people to more easily assess their own situation.
She's trying to
But
get
on
a
the other
job,
hand,
like,
the casual
at,
misuse
Vice
of
News.
psychological terms is rampant. Labeling people as
Rampant.
narcissists, toxic, abusers, bipolar, borderline, and more.
See you
fosters
later,
this
Kathy.
culture of superficial
See you later,
therapeutic
Kathy.
language that creates a sense of othering,
Have a good
which
night.
leads to an overemphasis of personal boundaries at the expense of mutual understanding and connection. In her book, Bad
Connection.
Therapy, Why the Kids Aren't Growing Up,
Oh,
Abigail
did we
Schreier
watch this already
analyzes the
again?
potential
This is
harms
what
of
she's
psychotherapy
annoying,
in
man.
detail.
She's
In
annoying.
some cases, interventions have led to worse outcomes, like increased depression or drug use. Multiple studies have found a strong link between heavy social media use
Damn
and
it.
increased risk for depression, anxiety,
Seems like
loneliness,
she-
and self-harm, even suicidal thoughts. There's
Uses
also
the
the questionable
same
trend in
video
mental
and
health services
mixes it
of
all together.
pathologizing normal behaviors and emotions, leading to overdiagnosis and overtreatment that can make
Shut
healthy
up,
individuals
Diane.
perceive themselves as mentally ill. We definitely see these social contagions on places like TikTok, where the more extreme your alleged mental illness, the more
Of course, her
clicks,
daughter's
likes,
on
and comments
TikTok,
you get.
so, you know.
Schreier criticizes our reliance on mental health experts over parental
Oh,
and
Jesus, help us.
become
Jesus,
increasingly
take the
wary
wheel, right?
support, which is essential for our well-being. I mean, look at me. I barely post on this channel because the haters are so hateful. Social contagion, the spread of behaviors, attitudes, and emotions
Social
through
contagion.
social networks, plays a huge role in all of this. Negative sentiments and punitive actions multiply rapidly, often without full consideration of context or consequences, which means people spread lies fast. This collective behavior reinforces
Collective
the cycle of fear and
behavior.
isolation.
You know where we're going with
As
this.
people become increasingly wary of expressing dissenting views
Oh,
or
like,
showing empathy toward the canceled individuals.
Oh,
which leads
here we
us
go.
to stage 4 of this communal cancer. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities.
Can you believe this?
Voltaire.
This is.
I said earlier that
She
these
c-
four
she
phenomena
only
are the
res-
precursor to human atrocities.
She responded received. This is all because she responded received to her daughter's letter. And then she made a video. Could you imagine being her daughter? She puts all this energy into this.
This is not hyperbole. This is history.
Okay.
In Hitler's Germany, Mao's China, and Stalin's Soviet Union, authoritarian regimes exploited social contagion to
Yeah,
spread
you're
extremist
Trumpanzee.
ideologies, fostering environments where individuals were isolated from dissenting viewpoints.
What's the
and
dissenting
community
view?
bonds.
See,
the fear of being ostracized.
this is what how Republicans twist their brains and into knots. Dissenting views, like you hate trans people. That's what she's saying. We have dissenting views. And meanwhile, you're the oppressor. It's just like in Nazi Germany. That's what the Nazis did. They were always the ones under attack. It's so it's just what Trump does. It's just what Republicans do. You know, they had to put the Jews in camps. They had to arrest the gays and attack the trans people and put people in camps because they were under attack. The country was under attack. This is what she's saying. But she's the oppressor. She's talking about people that are politically unconnected. She's talking about 1% of the population, less than 1% with trans people. That's what she's talking about. She's not, it's so twisted and backwards.
Or punished, drove people to perform and participate in
but
oppressive actions.
See, what she's saying is that we're, the ones who are woke, the ones who are inclusive, we're going to put her in a camp because she doesn't believe in trans people. Because she doesn't believe that boys can be girls. This is really a window into the way they think.
That they wouldn't otherwise, except out of self-preservation. These dynamics facilitated the rise of totalitarian
this one is
movements,
9
leading
days
to
ago.
widespread human rights violations and atrocities like the Holocaust, the Red Terror,
Can you believe
and
this?
the Great Purge. Crimes against humanity. Is this the
You
kind of
responded
America we
received
wanna live in?
to your daughter.
Because the tyranny of the fringe is
See?
taking us
You
there.
see that?
We cannot let
Exactly. Is this the kind of America? And look what she plays. Protect trans kids in all this distorted way. See, the trans people are Hitler that want to put Diane and Trumpanzees in camps because they don't believe in trans people. This fucking woman is sick, guys.
Because the tyranny of the fringe.
The
is
tyranny
taking us
of
there.
the fringe. Meanwhile, the tyranny of the fringe. She's the fringe, guys. She can't keep up as the world keeps evolving. She can't be bothered to just live and let live. Leave people the fuck alone, Diane. Oh, hi, Tara Jr. He wants to come up.
We cannot let extremists of any kind
Can you
take
believe
over
her?
civilization, or it will lead to ruin. We need to turn away from cancel culture.
What? Cancel
Look out for each
culture.
other and focus on what's good.
What's good?
versus
What's good? Trump? Trumpanzeeism? That's good. Why don't you leave people alone? That's good. Stop spreading your disinformation.
Doing in negativity for hours and days on end. We need to encourage
What's
real
she's
conversation,
negative?
but with empathy, reason, and
Isn't
emotional
it- it's like,
resilience
cuckoo,
to meet these challenges together without destroying each other. And it all
Well,
starts
you're
with
destroying. You're the one destroying. Diane, that's why people commented and said you're a narcissist because you're like out of control. You're delusional.
with the plight of the parent. Most parents learn parenting from their own parents and try to do better. Yes, there are many
How do you
books
do
with
that?
conflicting
Moving in and
opinions about
moving
how to
out.
be a good parent.
Well, I'm
But
sure
until
she
you're
does it in
it,
post.
You really have no idea how it feels.
How many
viscerally
stock
to be raising
videos
another
did you
human
have to
being from
download?
baby to adult. It's like being in an alternate universe.
She
of
thinks she's very inclusive because she used stock of black families.
joy and connection mixed with insanely difficult head spinning.
Oh, shut up,
mental.
Diane. Mental.
It just says
Wait,
honor.
what is this with the God? Oh, yeah, the 10 Commandments. Here we go.
As Gandhi said,
No,
be the change
Gandhi.
you want to see.
Oh my God.
If you're an adult
She
who's
hates
gone
trans people, but be the change you want to be or see.
no contact with your parents, you've made your choice. So, of
Choice.
course, explore your own path. Just like your parents, you're doing the best you can with what you know.
Oh my
But if you
God.
don't feel empathy for your parents' hurt since leaving them, imagine if you had kids and they did this to you.
Well, they probably
people
wouldn't
who
because she would break the chain of the narcissist abuse.
raised you can be your strongest.
And if her daughter wrote her a letter pouring out her heart, she wouldn't respond with the one word, received, and then proceed to make videos online and where 13,000 people told her she's out of her mind, and she couldn't accept it.
enduring bond
You
in
know,
a chaotic
15,000 people are telling you you're a narcissist. It's time to look in the mirror, you know?
world. Just consider reconnecting. Once your parents are gone, they're gone. If you're a parent whose child has rejected you, you simply must heal.
Sign
You
up,
can choose to
get
be-
my book. Yeah, she has like a whole thing. She has a whole website. What? Oh, God. Look, Martin Niemöller, she writes. First they came for the communists because I didn't speak out. I wasn't a I mean, like, is she for real? Yes, she is. Okay. And this is, you know, they're for real. They are for real. The Trumpanzee. All right, listen, guys, we're going to hang it up for tonight. And we have more to talk about. Hopefully we'll do a show. I want to do a show. Mom, let's put on a show during the week because we have so much more to talk about, especially this corrupt Supreme Court. I guess, you know, it's a tarabuster. We needed to blow off some steam with Diane, I think. What do you think? Making, going through Diane's videos. I think it was a welcome reprieve for a moment. And thank you for sticking around. I thought that was, we needed a little comedy relief. Right? So, let's get together. I have to get Trucker John on the show. We have to get Poppy back on the show. Where's Poppy? And, I got to edit the show for Progressive Voices. Thank you. Thank you, Twisted Nerves Painting. People seem to be okay with watching Diane's video. Yes, non-useful. 4 more Supreme Court justices. Yep. But we got to get Democrats elected. That's the problem. Well, that's the mission. Not the problem. The mission. Oh, God. And you're right. You know, the good thing is Biden's abysmal performance happened in June, not in October. So hopefully we can recover. I think we will because there'll be so many other opportunities for Biden to get in front of the American people, and he can't be like that again. Absolutely. And we're not just voting for Biden. I don't care, if Biden stutters or stumbles. The fact is, we're voting for an administration. We're voting for a democracy, normal people. We're voting for experts. We're not voting for an authoritarian and a corrupt establishment that does whatever the con man wants. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Junior. All right, guys. Listen. We will win. Thank you all for your super chats. Thank you, Jim and Matt and Mark and Pookie's mommy, Irene, and non-useful, who is very useful. And thank you, Jim, for being a moderator, and Mark for being a moderator. And thank you for your comments and sticking around for our little viewing party. That was fun. We will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I really needed you. And my name is Tara Devlin. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Help to keep the show going and growing. And I will see you guys very soon. Hopefully during the week we have more to talk about. Jesus, help us. Jesus, take the wheel. I'll see you soon.